There you go. All right. Wow, there's a lot of cars today. All right.
Last time it was just us, and not only that one girl.
Yeah.
I like the middle ground.
I know, that's a great thing about hiking here is that there's nothing to worry about. Nothing poisonous. Yeah. Oh, you know what I think probably would have been this weekend if it wasn't for everything being shut down? Spam Jam.
Oh, really?
I think we missed out on one of the Comic-Cons,
Oh, right. Yeah.
like Kawaii Con or...
Yeah.
Hi. Dog looks like a Pokemon or something.
Yeah. This is what you think.
Dang, he'll call you out again.
Hold on. Hey, scoot over, guys. Let him through. Right.
Where-
That's told me we can go and say, oh, you want to come over? Do it just a day, of course. And they want to allow it for.
That's guava trees, right?
Yeah.
There's the car alarm bird.
Yeah.
Lots of the Christmas berries.
Oh, yeah.
I think those are originally from Australia.
Oh, are they? Really? Okay. So they weren't here.
So many things that are here now that are not from here.
I wonder what was here that was super poisonous.
most of the large trees that we have here now
Yeah.
are not from here.
Yeah.
And so whenever I see pictures of Hawaii from like 100 years ago, you don't even recognize it.
Yeah. No, the Pauoas were big and everything else was scrubby.
Yeah. There was a picture of on the Poly Highway where that waterfall is, where there's that little parking lot on the side.
Yeah.
Kapena Falls by the Japanese cemetery.
Yeah.
There was a picture of that area that I did not recognize it for a long time. I kept staring at it, trying to figure out where it was. And it was because there was almost no vegetation. All of the vegetation back then was just like low scrub brush. And then I realized, oh, wait a minute. That big banyan tree would have been here on the left.
Yeah.
And you know those hills when you're going by Kaneohe and Kailua, looking out towards like where the pillbox hike is, and wow, and those hills, like you're going down H3 just before the entrance to Kaneohe Marine Corps Base. You know how the hills have that low, almost groomed looking, just very low vegetation? That's what it all looked like back then. So, yeah, I guess the trees that they would have had here naturally then would have been koa and sandalwood. I've never seen a sandalwood tree. Have you?
I think the hills were full of them. And then somebody,
Go ahead. This guy was telling me about how when the Westerners came here,
right.
and then they wanted the sandalwood for making furniture and stuff like that, the king would send his people up into the hills to harvest. Oh, you know who told me the story is Larry.
Oh, that's where I learned it from them too.
The king would send them up to harvest the sandalwood, and so they would go up there and they would cut all the big trees that they could use to make furniture and stuff out of.
See, that's where the money is. Hey, get up there and get that shit.
Yeah, but then the people got tired of being sent up there to do that work without really getting any pay. So even the little sandalwood trees, they would purposely cut them down so that they wouldn't grow, so that they wouldn't get sent back up in order to harvest anymore. Look at all those Christmas berries. I wish there's more sunlight on them. Yeah, but there's such a big grouping right here. I thought it would make a good picture, but it needs a little more sunlight.
Give it a second here. Oh, you might. No, it's going
So, on the Makapu'u Lighthouse Trail, there's an information board there that says that in that valley down below, down by what's that beach where the Queen's Bath is? Allen Davis. That area down there used to be full of sandalwood trees, but they were wiped out during the 1946 tsunami. When you're driving, like right after you pass Sea Life Park, and just before you get to Mackay Pier, the research pier, right there at Baby Makapu'u, where the surfers go out there and the waves are so small, there's a little rock down there on the beach, and it's like two rocks. It's like a rock and then another rock that's like leaning on the rock. They say that rock got knocked over. It used to be like almost like a table, like on two rocks and then the other rock, but then it got knocked down from the tsunami.
Oh, wow, really? It's all just rubble piled in.
Huh.
Cindery. You can see that it was just formed around rocks.
Yeah, it's weird how it's all broken up like that.
Like this big rubble. It looked like maybe something hardened over and then it blasted off.
But this looks kind of subtle. It looks like it's just breaking apart.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's why it's all sitting like that.
Ah, this is so decomposed, that's almost soil.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all the gas bubbles.
Yeah.
So how would that have formed that? That would have sat for a while in order to release those gas bubbles, or didn't release gas bubbles?
Shit, that's a good question.
Yeah, lots of bubbles in these. So this isn't cinders, this is actual lava.
Yeah,
So
well, you can see it running here. That's a toe that ran down in something here.
so this
It
would
looks like it ejected through a crack.
this would probably be from the original volcano and not the Pauoa
Yeah.
Ohia crater.
Right.
So this would be like the original bedrock.
Right. It's so cool to see the layers. Yeah.
Yeah.
This one, something injected out of here and pushed up against this rock.
Sure that's not just fractured and let go?
You see a lot of this on the Big Island where things are layered.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It almost looks like an outer shell,
Yeah.
like for pillow lava.
Yeah.
Look at the valley. That's Manoa Valley.
Oh, okay.
Look how blue it looks. Who was it, Van Gogh? Somebody was saying that Van Gogh figured out that, like, whenever he does pictures where you're like looking like at a mountain looking into a valley and like far off in the distance,
Yeah.
that he figured out that the further things are away like that, the bluer they are.
Blue. Wow.
And so he incorporated that in his paintings. That's something that whenever I'm editing my photos before I post them, and I'm going in and, you know, working on the levels and stuff like that, that's like something that I'm usually trying to overcome,
Right.
because it gets really hazy
Oh, yeah.
the further away you look. And so I'm usually trying to sharpen the pictures to get rid of that.
Morning.
Morning. This is the trail that I brought one of my tours on, or it was like before I started doing tours.
Circle thing down there.
Looks like a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
I kind of want to stay ahead of these people. That might be, that looks like it's in the area of the Asian Pacific School. It's like a elementary, junior high school type thing. But like when I was still doing just the astronomy tours, and then I had a couple of instances where people wanted me to take them on hikes, and maybe I was just about to start doing the regular tours, and I brought a woman on this hike, and we're talking story, and you know, telling her what I know and stuff, and she'd be asking me questions, and we came across this big tree, and she's like, "What kind of tree is that?" And I was like, I don't know, because, you know, I'm truthful about things like that. You know, if I don't know, I'll say I don't know.
Yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, you can't say I don't know. You got to make up some kind of story about it.
Right.
You got, oh yeah, the chief came through here one day and he came across this and he decided to name this such and such." And yeah, see those albizia trees down there?
Yeah.
Remember that story I told you about swinging it on the rope?
Oh,
Where we were above the albizia trees, so it would have been like this, but not quite this high. Wow, lots of Christmas berries. Oh, wow. Oh, I looked up that staghorn fern. You were right. That was the name of it.
Yeah.
And it said not to be confused with the what they called false staghorn fern, which was this stuff.
Oh, really?
See how it's
Yeah.
goes off like staghorns.
Yeah.
And there some other trails that I hike on, like in the area where you're walking, they grow that way, and you're like dragging your feet through them, and they get wrapped around your legs.
Right. It's so fractal.
Yeah. Looks like a chimney
Yeah.
to a house.
Okay, that's what it is.
So the Pauoa crater would be up here to our left.
Okay.
This is all broken down. That's turned into soil. I went hiking over behind Schofield Barracks, and this is what it was made out of, except it was more like
Even older.
it would come away,
Yeah.
and you would just slide.
Yeah. It's older too.
Oh yeah, because that's the Waianae Range.
I need to look at a map to figure out where the actual edges of those.
You know what I did is this is on. If you go to the Hawaii elections page,
Yeah.
and you just click on photos, I have one in there where I took a map of Hawaii and I copied and pasted pieces of the mountains in order to recreate what I figure the original shape of the island was before the landslides.
Yeah, wow, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow, look how dark this gets from the bamboo.
Have you seen that book, The Shoals of Time?
Sounds familiar, but no.
It's a really good one on geology. Wow.
Something's moving the bamboo up there. It's almost like a bird. Oh, look how blue this turns. Yeah, back when I was in the military, man, we used to run these trails.
No kidding, yeah.
Yeah. And especially when you're going downhill, it was like flying, dude. You like basically didn't touch the ground except for just to maneuver your flight.
Like a dream.
Yeah.
I do that in my dream.
Yeah. Hey, somebody made a post. Somebody tagged you on a post recently about dreams. Did you see that?
Sophia did.
Oh, was that Sophia?
Gazelle. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Nobody's remembering anything. Everybody's having fucking nightmares, but nobody's remembering it.
huh.
I think that's what's going on.
Look at all those albizia trees.
Yeah.
Think about how recently those were introduced to Hawaii. I heard that they were introduced to the Big Island to help with soil erosion.
Oh, probably. I might have that too.
But then, did you see that road where they got blown over by that? What was it, Hurricane David or something?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's the cemetery, isn't it?
Oh, that cul-de-sac?
I think so.
No, it looks like it might be
Yeah.
a school.
Yeah.
There's a tennis court.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that we called that the Enchanted Forest. That road. I used to go through there every day.
Somebody posted a before and after picture where,
Unbelievable.
yeah, before it was like driving through a tunnel, and then after the hurricane and they all got knocked down, it was just open sky again.
Last time I was there, I got fellas to drive me down there. I couldn't believe how different it was.
And they were talking about how those albizia trees are so brittle
Yeah.
that during the hurricane,
Yeah.
that all of those trees knocked down the power lines.
Yeah, yeah. We call them weed trees or gunpowder trees.
Oh, the gunpowder, is it because of the noise they make when they
crack.
snap?
Yeah, like a shotgun. Yeah.
What's that guy yelling about?
I was just talking to kids, I think.
It looks like it had a name of the bamboo, something
Oh, right.
Negra, black. Where did you say it's from? Ghana? No, China.
Must be running down
Why do you say running?
there. Because it spreads underneath through the roots.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was actually playing with one of the roots a while ago.
Oh, yeah. Because all of a sudden we don't hear them.
There's that landslide that we saw the other day. And then
Oh,
there
yeah.
and then there's that other waterfall.
Oh, yeah.
And then Manoa Falls is the next valley to the left.
Oh, it is. Okay.
The red dirt. There's that is it Hapa? Or Brother Is sings that song where he's talking about remembering the old times of like when they were kids growing up in Hawaii. And he's like, oh, remember the time we went to such and such place and you got your t-shirt all muddy with the red dirt and your mama wanted to spank you. Where's my camera? So it's like before they came up with the red dirt shirts. Yeah.
Big lizard up in there.
Where?
On that piece of wood there.
On top or?
He's sitting right there.
Oh, the green one. There he is. Yeah.
He's doing his neck thing.
Yeah.
Getting neck big.
Was it orange?
Yeah, we're trying to think of things.
Oh, this is a koa tree.
What is it?
There's a koa tree right here.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what the tall one is.
Yeah. There's another one inside over there.
Is it the same one?
No, there's that one over there.
Oh, is that the older one that
Yeah.
Melissa was asking about last time? Oh, yeah, that one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the old one that Melissa was talking about.
Right.
I don't know, it looks kind of fresh.
We both look good. Actually, that one looks old.
Yeah. But yeah, there was one that you could see from like just below the university about a year or two ago.
All right.
The normal. Ginger. Ginger here, and then here's the pink fringe flowers.
The kettlebell workout's fucking really good with definition.
Oh, good.
It's not making it big. It needs a very, very high rest.
Yeah.
I think at this age I probably wouldn't get maybe.
Oh, I think we're coming up on the bench. Nope. Getting close though. There's a park bench up here. Okay.
Coming up behind us, but they're way back there.
Okay. Yeah, I want to give us some room in case we want to stop somewhere. Oh yeah. Ginger. Oh, we'll have to look out for guava, because this time last year I think the guava was just starting.
Yeah.
That's a big one. Oh, I think this corner here is the park bench. Yeah, here it is. Oh, hello.
Mongoose.
Is that what that was?
Yeah.
Where was he?
Somewhere down here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that yellow ohia? Or is that Spanish moss?
Moss. Yeah. Oh, fuck, they're here.
I'll let him pass then. Man, that really looks like ohia.
It's gotta be moss the way it's hanging on there.
Yeah.
And they're really dead parts of the tree.
It almost looks like an ohia tree though, too.
Take over the section.
So I think I see the cliff face of Manoa Falls. And there's two white dots that I'm trying to figure out what that is. Like flowers or 10 o'clock. Oh, there's a name on the tree?
Pauoa, I think.
Yeah.
That's the one.
What's it look like? Little leaves.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll have to look that up later. Ho'awa, H-O diphthong A-W-A. Okay, I'm gonna keep going a little bit.
There you can see the cemetery.
Oh, so were you right about the cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
No, that's a different cul-de-sac
That's
though.
a cemetery.
Yeah, it's a different cul-de-sac
Yeah,
though.
it's a different one, yeah.
Up here you can see see this ridge line that comes down to the left here.
Yeah.
So where it goes down and then kind of goes that way a little bit
Yeah.
behind this ridge,
Yeah.
that's where we're going to end up.
Okay.
Look at the corkscrew in the.
Oh wow. Really? That's really cool. It's just one bridge.
You know, when you take the at Polynesian Cultural Center, when you take that boat ride on the canoes, the barges that go up the middle,
Yeah.
there's
I've never done it.
a palm tree that comes out. It's on the bank and it comes out like this,
Yeah.
and it goes up like that.
Really.
I think it was in one of the movies like Blue Hawaii or something.
Oh right.
Yeah,
I need to watch those.
and it's still here. Still there.
You can watch the Pearl Harbor movies too.
I have some of the songs from Blue Hawaii on that CD in my car. Wow, that's a good song. Oh, there he is.
Yeah. You know what I noticed when I walked this morning? A lot of obese people are walking.
Yeah, me too.
There's a lot of people are going,
Well, it could be a lot of people who normally work behind the desk,
that's true.
and now they've finally gotten a chance to. So this is that. What was it? Ho'ava,
Yeah, yeah, it is. Yeah.
with a little bit of koa mixed in here too. And guava. Look at all of those other things that are growing on top of that tree.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, good.
So it was a little bird,
Yeah, I saw it.
like a Japanese green round eye, but it was the one that has the more orange on it.
What's that
I have
right
it.
there?
I have it
Right there.
on my Instagram, but I can't remember the name. That's not the one making the noise, though, right?
Yeah,
That little bird.
yeah.
I see him, but I can't focus.
Oh, I could actually see his beak going.
Yeah, so he's got the orange, like a. Oh, it's what was it? A Chinese robin is one of the names.
All right.
Yeah, Chinese robin. Wow, that's a pretty good song for such a small bird. It almost sounds like a shama. Maybe we'll see some Japanese round eye too. Have you ever seen one of them?
Oh, yeah. You ever seen a Hawaiian crow?
I'll say again.
A Hawaiian crow?
No, on the Big Island, right?
Yeah.
I think they're just on the Big Island.
Oh, okay. First time I saw one, I was driving on the road toward my place, and I looked up, and it was flying by, and I leaned ahead to look out the window, and holy fuck, it's a crow. And as soon as I thought that to myself, it looked at me driving the car as it flew by.
You know what? I think I saw a story where they just released some into the wild here.
Yeah.
Wow, look how big that tree is. I think that might be the tree that lady was talking about. That I should make up the story.
Oh, okay.
Canadians.
He's so big, must be Canadian.
Yeah. I'll take her for a ride in my car. Learjet. Yeah, that's it. Oh, is it? It's not a fig? Wow. There's a knot on this side here that looks like an eye.
Would I?
Hair lip. I'm the eye in the sky.
Oh, there it is.
Maker of fools, I can read your mind. Oh, you hear the breeze coming. Yeah, I better save some battery for later. All right, so we're on the Manoa Cliff Trail, coming up on one of the pig gates. Native Forest Restoration Project. Please close gate. Do not cut vegetation. This fence serves to protect the native and rare plants and the watershed from feral pig damage. So, see, the fence goes down to keep the pigs out. So this one swings this way. So it's protecting that area.
No, it's protecting that area you just walked in.
Oh yeah, you're right. So this lets the pigs out,
Yeah.
but they can't get in.
Yeah.
So we're going to be getting close to where we had that junction on the last trail,
Yeah.
where going to the left would be the Pauoa trail. So yeah, I bought the clamshell online last night to keep my tripods in for whenever I go on my trips for the solar eclipse.
Yeah.
And so I had to check American Airlines to see what their dimensions are for what they allow as luggage, because this thing would be, really long in one dimension,
Yeah.
and then narrow, kind of like a golf bag,
Yeah.
but as a hard case.
Right.
Oh, yeah, here's the Pauoa Trail, going up that
I
way.
see it cuts up on the edge of the crater.
Yeah, there's that cliff guy. That guy's hazardous, man.
Right. He's always wiping out.
Manoa Cliff Trail. All right, so we'll follow this, and this will go down to where that map was,
Yeah.
and then we'll continue straight from there onto the Pauoa Flats Trail. So yeah, I checked the dimensions on American Airlines, and the max dimensions is 62 inches, and so that's adding the length, width, and depth.
So what the Pelican case come out at?
61.
For real.
Yeah. It's 13 by 12 by 36.
I wonder if they anticipated that.
No, there was lots of different sizes in there. There was one that I really wanted to order that was 42 by 13 by 12. I really wanted that one, but I went ahead and got the other one. I went ahead and unwrapped my tripods. They were still wrapped up from last time.
Oh, yeah.
And measured them, and I laid them side by side, and so I think they were like 32 in length, so they'll fit the length, but the width, they were a little bit wider than what the width was, with two of them laying side by side, but I think I can stack them kind of diagonally where they fit into each other, because they're three legs, so like a triangle, I can fit one inside the other, so they should be able to fit pretty good. And then that case actually has rollers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's long and it has little wheels on it where it rolls. So that's going to be sweet. So that's going to solve that problem for me for the travel. And even though it's pretty expensive, I'm going to be able to use that multiple times for any time that I want to go.
How much was it?
Before shipping and tax, it was like $295.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's the restoration area. So
Oh,
that's
yeah.
probably people
Yeah,
down there
see.
working on the
Yeah.
native plants and stuff. But one of the telescope tripods that I bought specifically for my trip to Chile last time, because it actually has the switch where I can switch it over to viewing from the southern hemisphere, because then it has to move in the other direction. That one, the tripod that came with it, the legs on it are really long. And it's actually too long for that case even.
Wow.
But I had another tripod, my very first one, that is shorter when it's collapsed. And I didn't have my toolbox with me because both of my toolboxes are in the tour vans. But I think I can undo the legs from one and put it on the other one, because the tops where the heads connect are slightly different on every one of them, so they can't interchange that way. So I think I can just take the legs off of one and attach it to the other one, and then I'll have a shorter version of it.
It's just as good, right?
Yeah. Oh. I wish I could get somebody to come with me. My brothers were going to come, but that was based on the idea that after that we were going to go to Peru and Bolivia,
Where's the next one?
Chile, and Argentina.
Oh, it is when?
December.
This December coming up?
Yeah. So I was originally going to go to Argentina, but it's so far south in Argentina that it was actually easier for me to go to Chile and then drive from the Chile side. Yeah, so I'm going to be trying to view it from right on the border of Chile and Argentina. No, I think what I'll do is I'll just reduce it to like 2 tours a day. Oh, I got an email this morning from somebody wanting a refund for canceling a tour that's coming up like in June or July or something. I didn't open the email, but so when I get home, that's something I got to do. That's going to be the first refund that I'm going to have to give because of the virus. Luckily, we didn't have a lot of reservations in advance, because we would have had the money, already, and we, would have been spending the money, and then when we refund, it has to come back out of the bank again. So this is going to be the first episode of me having to give people money back. Yeah, Samina was saying that she's really hurting because she's having to refund a lot of people, so she's having to give the money back, and so that's, putting her in the hole. Oh, there's that.
Oh, yeah.
The water vat from up there. I save the battery. Well, that was quick. I just turned the camera off, and here we are at the gate again. Yeah. So this time we started here. So we started here, and we've done this, and we're here, and then we're going to go onto the Pauoa Flats Trail, which will take us all the way out here to where we'll be able to look down into Nu'uanu Valley. So we're here, and we're going to go there, and then we'll end up doubling all the way back.
Okay.
So number 8, Manoa Cliff Trail is 3.4 miles.
Oh.
So we just did 3.4 miles.
Oh no, I wonder if we should do more.
And then we're gonna add number 10, which is only 3/4 of a mile.
Oh, okay. Might as well just throw it on.
All right. But this has got a section where the roots are really hard to go. There's a whole bunch of these roots like this, and I hate this part of it. So be careful not to twist your ankle. This sucker just goes up and up. At the junction of the Aihualama Trail and this trail, there's a couple of big trees like this too. What kind of tree is that? Oh, there's one of these on the Manoa Falls Trail too. Oh, yes. I was complaining about the roots, how hard it is to hike over them. And so somebody's made this. This is great. It's almost like a bicycle trail. Oh, this is so much better. So this must be the Nu'uanu Trail going to the left. Pauoa Flats Trail. Oh, well, yeah, it's Kalawahine Trail, Manoa Cliff Trail, junction 0.8 miles. But yeah, I think if you follow that, eventually going to the right, it'll take you on the Nu'uanu Trail, which then takes you down to the Judd Trail, onto the old Poly Highway, down to Jackass Ginger Falls. So it says that it takes you to the Kalawahine Trail, but then I think from there eventually it goes to the Nu'uanu Trail too, which goes down to the Judd Trail. This is nice. This wasn't here before. So walking on those routes, yeah, that's what I was talking about, where it's, God, it's so difficult. It's like you want to twist your ankle. This looks like this looks like one of those things that the like the bike trails, like you could ride a bicycle on this. Oh, this made this so much easier, because this is what I dread, is walking on those routes. Wow, some big trees.
It's like a dish. It's on that tree over there.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. So I think maybe this is the Nu'uanu Trail. What does that say? Yeah, okay, so this is the Nu'uanu Trail.
Oh, it is? Okay.
So that will lead you down the hill to the Judd Trail, to Jackass Ginger Falls. We did that one day where we started at the Kalawahine Trail, came all the way to here,
Yeah.
and went down to the Judd Trail, and then we had another van at the other end, so we didn't have to double back.
Really? We could do something like that with the old 7-pack.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, that is cool. Yep.
No. Hey, come on. Sorry.
All right, cool. You know, oh, there's the wood. Oh, so yeah, they still need to work on it. You know how pit bulls and dogs like that are like really scary, and sometimes, you know, when you're walking, you come across them, and you have to go past them, and you know they always start coming towards you because they want to check you out, and they look really mean, like they might bite you or something. You know what I've found to do that really disarms a dog, even you know an adult dog, is to just go poopy 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 poopy, and then they start wagging their tail. So there's a life hack for you. My Facebook memories came up with a posting that I made a year or two ago about a life hack that I have about, you know how when you have to fold a piece of paper in order to put into an envelope, and you try to do that tri-fold, and sometimes you don't get it right on the first time, fitting the dimensions of the envelope. Well, I have a life hack on how to do it right every time. Do you want to hear it? No, take the envelope and lay it upside down with the flap up. Take the piece of paper and slide it into that flap. And then fold it forward, leaving like 1/8 of an inch at the bottom so that it fits inside the envelope. And then turn it over and fold the other piece into that piece. And then it fits perfect. And then like if you have a check that you need to mail, put the check inside the folded piece so that people can't see through the envelope to see the information on the check. I think we might be coming up on the junction of the Aihualama Trail. All right, the junction of the Pauoa Flats Trail and the Aihualama Trail. So Aihualama Trail goes to the right and comes out right where Manoa Falls is. And then here's those big trees that I was talking about. It's a lot more bamboo in here. These used to be really picturesque because this one tree goes up into like 3 forks. Like in the spaghetti westerns, there was that cactus. Oh, what was that? Emerald, Romancing the Stone? Where they had to look for the cactus that was the something Diablo. Yeah, me and my daughter did this hike, and I got a picture of her up in the tree there.
Oh, cool, yeah.
Oh, that's good that you're standing there. That gives you reference. What kind of tree is that? It's got that soft bark. Stick your finger into the bark there where it's soft. Oh, here's a paper tree. Well, maybe that's what that is. No, it's different, isn't it? Yeah, this stuff comes off like paper. Oh, dude, feel this.
Wow.
Yep. So usually you know when you're almost at the end because you can usually hear the wind blowing through the guide wires for this tower up here. There's a telephone pole that when you're driving on the Poly Highway, you can look up and see that telephone pole, and it's right at the end of this trail. Oh, is this an albizia tree that's fallen over? Or is that guava? Oh, it looks like maybe a detour this way. Oh, you get to see the roots. Yeah, because the trail people would have cut it up by now. The Na'alahele. Oh yeah, well it's been cut right here. So if you're real quiet, you can hear the wind humming on the guide wires for this telephone pole up here. You can start to hear the wind coming through Nu'uanu Valley. Whew, you can really tell that the water runs through here. Oh, look at the standing water. Yeah, it was raining this morning again. Yeah, two of them. One that came with the apartment, and then one that I brought with me from my previous apartment. Why?
Oh, because I got some really good seed.
Oh, cool, thanks.
How's it going?
Good morning.
That's cool.
The Three Amigos.
Oh, it looks like a double fence post, almost.
A what?
Like a double fence post.
What is that?
It's a formation that the lava does if it erupts and there's actually water like a river or something. The lava inflates from underneath and it makes these like almost like a hexagon shape. That's what it looks like. It looks like double fence post.
Okay, cool.
And it's in rows. I'll show you a really good one at Copper Falls.
Kauai? Or no, Big Island.
There's a bridge that goes over a section before you get to the falls. You look down, you can see the tops of the double fence posts that were formed and then the top of it's worn off in the water. So you can see like the hexagon shapes in the water.
Can you hear it?
Totally. It's loud.
Could you imagine being up here at night and hearing that? It's like the night marchers.
Yeah.
And so this trail here goes to Konahuinui, Mount Olympus.
Okay, yeah.
And this is the reservoir, Nu'uanu Reservoir. That's where we get our drinking water.
Oh, it is.
There's crazy people that go to that tower and jump off.
Wow.
Oh, and the trail for the waterfall that we've been talking about doing.
Yeah.
See that trail right there?
Yeah, yeah.
And then it goes into this valley,
Oh, yeah.
back
okay.
into there.
Yeah.
There's the Polynotches.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Puka. I can just see the pinhole.
Oh, you can, yeah. Yeah.
And that's Kaneohe.
Where's the Poly Lookout?
So you see where the two notches are?
Yeah.
And then it goes down and to the left?
Oh, down to the left.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
down in there.
Right.
So that's the Poly Highway right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I see where we are.
And then you can see the tops of the next mountains over there. So between that mountain and that mountain would be the Liki Liki Highway.
Yeah.
And then over here, that's Makakilo,
Yeah.
Pearl Harbor in between there.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what's making the hum.
Oh, I see. Wow.
So down in there would be Morgan's Corner. So the old Poly Highway. Oh no, that's the house where the waterfall is. There's what I was saying is that we could do this trail to this waterfall, and then you can come down here and you can take a left turn through the bamboo there,
Yeah.
and you go to the ruins. The King Kamehameha III Summer Palace is down in there,
Right.
and then a little bit to the left there, you come out behind those houses there. There's a waterfall
Yeah.
that looks a lot like the waterfall from Fantasy Island.
Oh, no kidding. The waterfall blows.
You see the little reservoir back there,
Yeah.
and then a little bit further down to the left from there would be Japanese Ginger Falls and the Judd Trail, where it has all the Norfolk pines. Sweet. So yeah, you could follow this trail here, and you can go all the way to the top. They call it Mount Olympus Trail. So that's Konahuinui, the two big testicles. Yeah, kinda. But that trail that I was telling you that we climbed up Manoa Falls, this is how we ended up coming down and connecting here to go back down. Oh yeah, it does get better.
Doesn't look too bad.
It'd be awesome to be able to do. I always wanted to do that trail, but it always seemed really daunting.
Fuck, it looks daunting, man. You want to do it sometime? What's the closest entrance?
Here,
Really? You gotta come all the way to here, yeah? Shit. Well, you can prep for it sometime, maybe do it in the fall.
it'd take you all day, man. I mean,
You have to carry food.
I was worried about doing it when I was younger.
Yeah.
I mean, we could always try it and see how far we could go and just double back.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we got to here easy enough, and I've already done fucking 6 miles.
Yeah, here's the staghorn vines.
Oh, these are cool.
Yeah, that's the pink fringe.
Oh, it is, really. So this is the full staghorn.
Yeah.
Oh, here's the blueberry.
What? Is that the same thing?
Looks different, but it looks like the same berry. Oh, look at them back in here, dude.
Is that not strawberry guava?
No.
Huh. Take a
Oh,
picture.
they're red and blue.
I'll have to take a picture and look that up. Get the leaves. See the red and blue. Oh, the bees like it. I wonder what these little flowers are. Yeah, so you see how this, if this wasn't cut, how the staghorn vines, how they like really, they really trip you up.
Oh, yeah, no kidding. Wow. Positive effect. I drank too much wine. That's the take a piece. That's on the Matrix. That's another different thing we don't have to worry about here, isn't it?
Yeah, just wild pigs. Oh yeah, I've come across them a couple of times.
Yeah, fucking nasty, man.
At the Pauoa Mahuka Trail, there's to the right of the heiau. I meant Pauoa. I meant the heiau, not trail, but yeah. There's a trail that goes from the heiau down to like a pillbox.
Oh yeah.
And coming back on the trail, there was a mother pig that crossed the trail, and the baby pigs didn't follow her across. And so she was like waiting on the babies, and we needed to cross the trail, but we were like, no freaking way, we're gonna get between the mother and her piglets. So we had to wait. Eventually the mother, I think she ended up crossing the trail and going back to her babies, and then we scurried across. Hi.
Hello.
By the way, this trail, you know, it looks like it would take you up to a nice vantage point.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It goes up to where that telephone pole is, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's not
Not a whole lot.
not worth it.
여기 어디야?
Oh, look at the big landslide up there now that the sun has lit it up.
Oh yeah. Wow. There's a couple of them.
Yeah, this island is slowly eroding.
Yeah, no kidding.
I figure another 1 or 2 million years, this will be, those mountains will be down to like where the road is.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yepper.
All right, see you guys. Hi guys.
Hey.
You're almost there.
Yeah.
Close. Like blend in, just drop out for a winter. Which is what I ended up doing.
When, you know, I was married to my second wife, and I was getting close to retiring from the Navy, our plan was that whenever I retired, we were going to buy an RV
Right.
and then just travel.
Right.
And
Oh wow, look at that.
big piece of paper,
Yeah.
paper bark from that tree there.
Oh yeah.
So that was the plan then. But then, you know, I went on that second deployment, and you know, right as I was leaving to go on that second deployment to the Persian Gulf,
Right.
and she let me know that she wanted a divorce.
Right.
And you know, the divorce took forever. But then, you know, I was retiring, and so at that point, you know, we had been separated long enough that, you know, I was obviously making different plans. And so that my plan then was that when I retired, that I was going to move to Hawaii.
Oh.
And during my deployment, you know, I would have music that I would play at my bench, and I had the I can't remember if it was one of the times that we traveled through Hawaii, either on the way to or back from the Persian Gulf, I had stopped, and at the international marketplace, I bought what are the Israel Kamakavikavole CDs. And this was right after he had passed away.
Wow.
And I would play that, while I was on deployment.
Yeah.
And so, I made up my mind that when I retired, I was going to move to Hawaii. And there was a particular song on the CD, the White Sandy Beaches of Hawaii,
Oh yeah.
that
I love that song.
every time I would hear that song, man, I would get choked up because I wanted to move to Hawaii so bad. And so when I retired, you can take terminal leave. You can take all the leave that you had saved up and you can apply it to the end. And so you can actually leave before your actual retirement date.
Right.
And so the date that I joined was November 18th. And then for some reason, they make you round it up. So my day of retirement was going to be December 1st.
Oh yeah.
And so I took my terminal leave, and I actually got a couple of days early too because the ship was getting underway, and I would have been, on the day that I was going to be able to leave, I would have been on the ship.
Right.
So they just left me behind for that extra couple of days. And this was, not too long after the 9/11 events.
Right.
And so I guess they didn't want to be in port during 9/11. So, they just decided to get underway.
Oh, right, right.
And so on September 11th, 2006, I actually stood on the shore and watched my ship get underway without me for the last time. And so technically I had to stay and check in every day. Hi. And so the guy that I had to report into was the same rank as me. And I had let him know that, I wanted to get to Texas for my daughter's birthday, which was on the 15th. And it takes me 24 hours to drive from there to Amarillo. And so he let me take off a day or two early.
Wow.
And so then my actual retirement date was December 1st, 2006.
Yeah.
And so I was able to make it to Texas for my daughter's birthday. And then, we had the house that she had moved out of that, we were trying to get rid of, and I had to get all of my stuff out of there. She had already moved all of her stuff, including the furniture that she bought with my money.
Right.
And then all of the stuff that was left behind, I had to go through it and move what I could. What I did was I borrowed her van that I paid for, that we bought from her parents. So they got the money from me buying it from them, and then she ended up keeping it. So I paid for that van twice. So anyway, she let me borrow the van, and I packed up as much of my stuff as I could into that van and moved it to my parents' house. And then ended up moving to here. And then another piece of that story is that after my mom passed away, what was that, just over a year ago? Year and a half ago? Since my dad had been living at my brother's house so that my brother could take care of him with his diabetes and stuff, there was nobody living at that house, and it's way out in the country. And so my brothers say that somebody broke into the house and stole everything. No, everything.
Oh, no kidding.
They say that they even ripped the walls apart to get at the copper wiring in the house.
Ice heads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi. So they said that the front yard looked like somebody had brought a trailer in
Well, they took your car.
and just made multiple trips backing the trailer in and just loading everything onto the trailer and taking everything. But my stuff was, because my mom was like, oh, I don't want your stuff in my attic, put it in the garage. So I put my stuff in the attic of the garage,
Right.
and it's kind of hard to get in there. It's got one of those pull-down ladders,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then it's like really dusty and stuff up there. So I had it all up there in a pile, and then I had a tarp over it. And so
Still there.
I wonder if people would have thought to go in there to get it. So I wonder if it might still be there. Hi. And so because the house was in the condition that it was, you know, they didn't keep up the payments on the house, and so it's obviously been, you know, repossessed or whatever you call it.
Probably just still sitting.
But it's probably just still sitting there. And so I wonder if I were to go back, because it's way out in the country.
Your stuff is still there.
Yeah. And my brothers say that even the house that was next door, that those people moved out and like tore the house down. So there's like nothing around there. So next time I want to go to Texas, I want to go back there. But, you know, I wonder, like, if I was to go in there, would I get arrested or something?
No. Nobody's having no issue at all. If they did, you could tell the cops it's the truth.
But there was a day when I went back for my mom's funeral that my brothers sent me out to the house to pick up some stuff that they needed for the funeral. And while I was there, I went up into the attic and grabbed some of my stuff.
Oh, it was there.
And no, well, that was before the people broke into it, yeah. And so I grabbed some of my stuff, and I felt guilty at the time doing it because I think this was, I don't know if it was actually before or after my mom passed away. Maybe it was when she was about to go into hospice, or maybe it was after. But anyway, so I didn't grab very much of my stuff because I did it kind of like in a hurry. And so the stuff that I got was like most of my negatives and then like my yearbooks from high school and my cruise books from my deployments. And what I did was I mailed it to myself.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, there was like, you know, all of the stuff that was in my house, and then, you know, I just moved as much as I could and left some stuff behind, and then I, you know, grabbed what I could of the last time. So it's like my worldly possessions that I had gathered in my 20 years in the Navy just keeps getting smaller and smaller. I had my snowboard, stereo equipment, you know,
Yeah.
photo albums.
So the stuff you did in the Navy is pretty much obsolete now.
Yeah, I mean, I do have the electronics knowledge, but it would be hard to start off on something because the stuff that I knew, I mostly knew from repetition. But then again, the stuff that they do now, it's so plug and play that you they don't, you know, what I did was I actually troubleshot stuff down to the component, down to the resistor, capacitor, transistor. They don't bother doing that anymore because, yeah, you just take the board out, throw it away, and order a new one.
Yeah. Like where did you have CD repair?
Yeah.
Now you just throw the fucking CD in there.
Yeah, my dad actually worked for RCA for a while. I don't think RCA even exists anymore, does it? I remember reading one time that there was 0 companies in America that made TVs.
Oh shit.
They all went to Japan. It's all like Sony and stuff.
This guy, those giant square TVs in Walmart.
Oh, dude, you see them in Waikiki on trash day.
Yeah.
Like 50-inch TVs on the side of the
Yeah.
sidewalk being thrown away.
Last time I was in Walmart, I couldn't believe.
Yeah.
They're so cheap, I'm tempted to buy one. Fuck, I don't need anything.
I'm using that monitor that I bought for the front window of the gallery
Right.
as the monitor for my laptop now.
I don't even think I don't even have a laptop.
I'm waiting for Best Buy to open again, where I can go in and speak to a guy there, because I want to buy a more powerful computer for editing my videos, because I want to start doing that more.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So I need one with a better like graphics board and stuff, and then if I can get them to recommend for me a software to buy for editing videos, because there's so many out there. Right now I'm just doing it in QuickTime, which basically all I can do is just cut and paste. I just saved a link for an ad that came up on my Facebook for a place where you can download music to use in your videos.
All right. I listen to all my music on YouTube now.
Yeah,
Well, I pay the $13 a month for no commercials.
yeah. Well, I have that software, that 4K downloader, where you can actually download the videos,
Right.
and you can rip the audio from it.
Yeah.
So I'm just downloading all of those old like 80s songs
Yeah.
and putting them on to a DVD as an MP3,
Yeah.
and then my car will play it. So I can put like hundreds
Yeah. No kidding.
of songs on there, and then I pick songs that would be appropriate for like when I'm driving Uber.
Right.
I've gotten some really good comments from some of the older folks,
Right.
from some of the old songs from like the 70s and stuff.
Have you ever seen Todd in the Shadows?
Oh, I think I might have heard of it. What is it?
You might get a kick out of it. He's like, he does this silhouette of himself and plays keyboard and he critiques music like from about 2010 on. You're funny to watch, man. Most like 99.9% of the songs, I don't even know.
Huh.
You probably know all of them. Yeah,
Well-
check out Todd in the Shadows.
What genre of music is it?
Like dance, pop,
Yeah.
hip-hop,
Yeah, I was really into like early 90s industrial music
Alright.
and techno. As a matter of fact, I used to use this one called Last FM, and
Last or blast?
LAST, and it was really good about discovering music for you, like based on the things that you've liked, it would
Alright.
recommend other stuff. And before it got to where like I had to pay for it or something, where I stopped using it, or no, it got really complicated to use because they started linking up with YouTube, and then instead of just playing the audio, it would play it as a video, which was then a bigger file, and it would interrupt more.
Right.
But anyway, I printed out my song list from it, and I have that in a box that I've been, for the past couple of days since we're, locked down, I've been meaning to get that out of the box and then use that as a reference to go onto YouTube now that I have that 4K player, and download those songs. And we came that way last time. Let's try this one. Oh, we're going uphill now. Eventually it'll go back downhill. Yeah, my nose is actually running now. Once we get to this junction up here, though, it should be back downhill again, going back to the car. Yeah, it's good for you. Yeah, I have to make sure that I shower when I get home because you smell real earthy when you get home because you got, probably all the seeds and dirt and stuff on you from this. Really mess with your allergies. Yeah. Yep, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, you're getting to know this like I did, picking every trail and covering it. What was the Rush quote that I sent you? Those who... What was it? Those who know must... Hi, guys. Anyway, that quote that I sent you reminded me of what our government is doing to us right now, as far as knowing better to lock us in house.
You know what I don't understand? Why is the stock market doing so good with the economy?
I think it's because they can see the light at the end of the tunnel.
This seems really safe.
No, you can see where it started going back up is when there were some things that came out in the news that looked more promising, and also the price of oil probably has a lot to do with it too. It's also a really good time to buy. Like I was saying, if I would have had extra money, this would be a great time to buy.
He was talking to saying, my oil guy, he's not suffering because he does everything. That's wrong, he doesn't do that.
Who?
The Kiyosaki guy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I need to be bailed out because I made horrible decisions.
All right, thanks.
I think I'm like one of the only people I know that doesn't fucking owe money. Like, as fucked up as my situation is, I don't owe anything.
That's pretty.
So it's like a tarot.
Yeah. They say there's like 35 different varieties. You know, it's funny. I remember seeing that stuff when I was growing up. We just called it elephant ear.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like a catch-all for that. Can you get a loan and just use it to make payments on the vehicles, and that would cover, like if you got a loan and used it over a 6-month period to make payments on the vehicles?
Yeah.
That's what I thought you would do.
No, the loans that I've taken was in order to have enough money to pay the payroll.
For the business, you wouldn't see it on vehicles.
That's true, because one of the things that it says that you can use it for is rent or mortgage.
Right?
But I think that's meant to be for like office space. Hi. There's ginger root right there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and it's got sprouts too.
Oh,
It's like the guys have cut this, the guys that maintain the trail
yeah.
just piled it up there. Ah, koa trees. Wow, you see the ridgeline in the front. You can see how far we've come.
No kidding.
There's the junction for the Pauoa Trail. So yeah, the paychecks that I'm about to get, you know, that 1 month delay from Pleasant Holidays and Expedia is going to be my last income. And then I'm going to have, you know, a couple of months where I won't have any.